Good morning, welcome to TERRA at Home, and well, we're 1 week after Halloween, and it starts to give us thoughts to winter coming around the corner, and of course Christmas. I'm here with Sumati, and we're standing in an area of TERRA that so many people love. Some people are still surprised by, but we have warm and fuzzy, wonderful clothing. In fact, we have clothing all year round now.
We do.
TERRA's not just about plant life and beautiful flowers,
so
right?
we have a great clothing department. Just what's here is our Canadiana, really. So beyond clothing too, but that rustic Canadian themed, it's such a strong trend right now, and it's the perfect time of year to indulge in it.
It is, right? And so people are still enjoying weather. We know that November can be still very gorgeous to spend some time outside, but we have to bundle up a little bit more. So when you are doing those wonderful hikes in the woods, these are some really nice...
some chunky sweaters, cozy up by the fire. It's still that kind of weather where, like you say, it's still a little bit nicer, but it's definitely cool weather. You know, the colors have changed, leaves have fallen. It's nice for cozying up, and I mean it's perfect for the season. It's really nice on trend, and the patterns are great. That Canadian knitwear is wonderful.
Now, one kind of key note here is we're talking about it being Canadian, but so much of this really is, these are Canadian companies.
This is actually, all these are Canadian companies, all the product featured here behind us. The knitwear that we have is a company that is called Ideal North. They're actually made in Canada. So you can't say that about a lot of things, and you certainly can't say that about a lot of clothing, but this is knitwear that's actually made in Canada. So
great.
Nice to be able to contribute and keep that within the country, right? It's great to be able to support Canadian ventures when we can.
That's the thing, so you're looking at something that looks Canadian, but it actually is. Sometimes it's interesting to look at certain Canadian products, and it's sort of a, you know, a made-up thought from another country about what we are. So it really is Canadian. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, we have obviously some like full winter coats.
Great winter coats.
Behind you. And
we've got menswear as well. So we've got clothing for women that we've had for a couple of years now, and it's been doing very well. And we do have cardigans for women, wrap around, a little bit of pocket, and we've got men's vests as well. So. And the men are enjoying this.
So, you know what, it's best because it's just to kind of really show what
see what they actually look like.
These beautiful shelves are all folded up with these gorgeous sweaters. But let's bring our first model in, and we can take a look at what we're offering.
So Tiffany's got the ladies' cardigan on, and she's actually also got, you know, it's really nice and comfortable. It doesn't have buttons, it's easy, there's nothing, you know, clumpy on there, the pockets are soft, and the tie makes it easy. And the way it hangs, even when it's open, makes it nice to wear without the tie too. And her bag is from SB, and that's got a great Canadiana theme. We've got a whole line of that product, and that's just great right now. It's
and we're going to talk more detail about those bags in a little bit because there are wallets and bags and all kinds of wonderful things. But you can see how easy, this is one of those keeper sweaters that you just have around.
For sure.
You know, you feel a little bit chill even in your house or wherever, you just have something to throw on, and that wraparound feel is
And you know,
easy.
I found a lot of people are actually not good wearing wool. It sort of surprised me, but wool can be itchy. Some people find it really irritating.
Yes, people do.
These
even
are
over
soft.
top of layers.
Right, I know, exactly. Like it could just be touching your neck somewhere, and the next thing you know, you've got a bit of a rash from itching at it, right? So these are actually acrylic, but really nice, soft, chunky knitwear, and washable. Hello.
I love that.
That makes life easier.
That's great. That is a really nice sweater. I love that. Fantastic. Okay, thank you. All right, so we were mentioning that we also have a product for men.
We have menswear.
Yes, including this really cool vest. So come on in. We decked them all out today.
That's right.
We went from like, you know,
Glenn is cozy.
You are Canadian.
So we didn't mention hats, and Glenn's got one of the hats on. We've got a great line of toques, so lots of different, it's Canadiana, but so this one's got a canoe. We have some that have a bear, a beaver, a moose, you name it. There's a toque with something on it.
Lots of
and the vests the men are loving the vests. So it's nice, comfortable. It's got a side placket for some expansion, and zip up pockets. So
that when you go for turkey dinner?
Yeah, there's room. There's room in there.
And
hence
you
the
should turn around so you can see the back too. So the back is just the longer and fully quilted.
Yeah, so it gives you just a little cover so that you know that line when you're bending around. You don't have to breeze. It's nice and comfortable.
Wood,
practical.
We don't want to see too much. I love it. Thank you. You can turn back around actually.
And the cardigan is a nice button-up cardigan that he's got, so it's something that is just comfortable for men to wear. I mean, you can wear that comfy, cozy, going for a hike in the woods, or you know, dressed up for Christmas supper, or wear a nice shirt underneath.
Exactly. Now we know obviously this time of year it really is key to be wearing layers because you can still get that odd warmer day, particularly if you are outside and you're being active. So it is nice to have something like a vest or sweater layers, and again, you are bringing the toques in at this time of year too.
Chunky sweaters. I mean, something like the cardigan that Tiffany's wearing with the chunky turtleneck underneath. There's lots of room to kind of still be comfortable no matter what way the weather goes.
Exactly. Now you have something in your hand here. We want to go back to, we were talking about Tiffany's purse that she had as well, and something that's special about this is that these look like they're made of leather.
They really do. They're great quality. It's a PETA certified vegan product, so there is no leather involved. They really feel great. Like you don't feel that quality of synthetic leather in a lot of products.
Not at all.
And these, we have great gift boxes. It's perfect for gift giving. Lovely wallets, 2 different kinds of wallets, the purse that Tiffany had, and they're a really nice format inside. Like it just isn't, it isn't something you could do. That's right, I know. I'm finding they're getting better at this, accommodating the amount of cards, but you know, really nice wallets that are great for gifting, and lovely gift boxes ready to go with it.
A couple different size wallets, and
also different colors. So we have these in a black trim, brown and red as well, so it gives it a different look when in the purses as well. The handle will be different colors, but really nice quality products, and also Canadian company.
Right. And that's the thing, so we're focusing on the Canadian side right now, but we have other bags and that in here that
we do.
Synthetic as well, that you would absolutely think
they are. I know. I used to be a real I would only buy leather, only wanted it to be that certain thing, but sometimes you just don't know the difference now, and these are one of those items.
And it becomes more cost effective when it's not.
Very true, very true. Sometimes it's just not easy to find the bag you want in the leather that you want, and then, like you say, the cost can be just a little prohibitive at that point.
Now, part of the Canadian theme that we have here as well is a lot of very like almost that reclaimed wood sort of feel. We have, you know, the Canadian, again, I could just see throwing that up in a Canadian style room.
It's great for the cottage or anything rustic, right? So, and these are actually reclaimed Canadian barn board, another Canadian company that's local, and they just do all kinds of products. So we've got some great Canadian flags, we have some gift tags, tree ornaments, lots of really nice stuff that is something different, right?
Yeah, like wooden gift tags. I think those would be the best to be on presents, and wooden postcards, which I think are a really nice idea. Again, special, right?
That's right.
Those little things that stand out that people aren't going to throw those gift tags out or those postcards
That's
out.
right. Those postcards, they actually do mail with a regular postage stamp. They're made of Canadian maple. But they're lovely, like they're real keepsakes too. It's the kind of thing you could easily put in a frame. The art on them is really beautiful.
Yeah, I was looking at all of them over there and I thought, wow,
they've done some really charming stuff with it.
Cute. So again, we have lots of options here to stay cozy. Slippers and leg warmers. We were joking about, I remember wearing leg warmers all the time when I was a kid, and I know they've been kind of floating around the last couple of years, but now we're getting back to that real Canadian theme again. Like we used to wear the ski
real Nordic patterns, and but they're great for under boots, so not necessarily the way we wore them once upon a time, but under boots, it's like a little bit of a cuff. You can roll it over, so there's lots of versatility while keeping warm, which is a big strong point for me come wintertime.
Awesome, Sumati. Thank you so much. And you can be Canadiana too, right here at TERRA. We'll be back with more TERRA at home after this. When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your Christmas dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
Heritage perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're here in Ancaster today, and I'm here with Lucy at the Quilt Rack. And this is your lovely store, just full of color, materials, and all kinds of fun because we do classes here. But we'll get into that in just a little bit because of people who are maybe interested in picking up their quilting from years ago or starting fresh. But we want to talk a little bit about how you got started. And have you been doing this since you were a little girl?
No, but I have been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice
It's a
to meet
pleasure to
you.
have you here.
Thank you. This is fun. You know,
Yeah.
this is kind of, we're starting to really see a resurgence in quilting.
Well, let's hope so, so I can continue on being here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you've been doing this a long time. You know what you're doing. And basically, when it comes to quilting, we think about the basic quilt, and that is behind us. But there are so much more. So much more you can do.
There's so much more that you can do.
Yeah.
For example, you can do slippers.
Look
you
at
can
these.
do absolutely wonderful
So cute.
slippers, and they come in all sizes. This is a class that will take you probably about a day from start to finish.
Wow.
And you do them in any color, any combination of colors, whatever.
And I think
they're
that's
handy.
what's fun about making something yourself is that you can personalize it so they can be exactly what you want them to be.
Yep.
And that's so much fun. You look at the materials and what's out there. You can theme these. As we know, everybody's kind of starting to get Christmas on their brain already. And what a great Christmas gift these would be too.
Absolutely. Great for traveling because if you want something, I never wear bare feet in a hotel room. So you take a pair of these, fold them up. They fit very nicely into your suitcase. I've even had a comment that one of the ladies that we know made some for her daughter's wedding. So that she put beads and lace and everything all over them, and they were great.
You make them fancy for
Yeah.
them. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that idea. Now, if we look around the table, I mean, there are so much more here, but there's something for everybody. And you know, when it comes to quilting, the store obviously is great in terms of material selection for people who are quilters at home and who are making, you know, bags to slippers to whatever it may be. But we do really want to get into these classes. I think this is something that is really important because some people may want to advance their knowledge or, again, start from scratch.
Start from scratch. And we do a lot of projects that a beginner quilter or a non-quilter can do, so that you don't have to take the time to do a full-size bed quilt if you don't want to.
Well, it's a little bit too much to dive into if you're just starting.
Yeah,
A little daunting.
it really is. That's right. So, for example, we can do hot pads. Hot pads is a one afternoon class.
Okay.
And how handy would these be to take as a hostess gift?
These are great, and anyone would love them. And of course, these we have, you know, this one Christmas theme. They're so pretty, but what a great idea! Everybody can use these.
Absolutely. And you make them. You start off with the smaller one. You go to the bigger, and you can make them all in all sizes.
So this looks terribly complicated, but you're telling me it's not.
Oh no, really easy. One afternoon
trickery.
and it's done.
I love it. Well, that's great. So that's a great way to start.
Yeah, wallets. We have a new instructor, and she does these absolutely fantastic wallets.
Those are
You
awesome.
know, look at that. That's just absolutely
Full
great.
zipper center. I mean, it is exactly how. And of course, you could pick all the materials and just have fun with it, right?
That's right.
Now, this again looks so complicated, but once someone breaks it down for you,
It's very easy. It truly is very easy. You just have to have a sewing machine.
okay.
And a seam picker sometimes.
Okay. So how often did you say how many hours would that take?
This wallet or a wallet would take 2 3-hour classes, and you're basically done.
Awesome.
I know.
That's a
I
good
know.
gift
It's-
too.
Oh, you're not kidding.
Right? A really
and
good
then,
gift.
And then make something for yourself. For example, placemats.
Yes, like
And
these.
I love using placemats because they're just handy, and I've got a wooden table, so I want to protect my table.
You must have like a million of them.
I
of
do.
every color for every season, every holiday, every birthday. I would, because I could see, you know, this would be pretty straightforward to make, and this would be something, again, you could just keep switching them up. and-
Absolutely, and this is a Christmas themed one, and this one is a Christmas themed
pretty.
one. But you can use any combination of colors, and instead of the Christmas tree as a trim, put a floral trim or
Right.
put anything else in there. And our instructors are great, so they'll help you with whatever you want to put in, with whatever colors you want to choose. They're great with choosing colors.
Oh, I can imagine, right? They just have an eye for it at this
Yeah.
point. And obviously for the table as well, if we're talking about that big, beautiful holiday table, having a nice runner.
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah,
So you can
yeah.
get into the same idea. Again,
That's
a little bit
right.
more work for sure, but
just think of how gorgeous that would look on your table.
and I
over
like
the
if you make them
holidays.
reversible like that, and then you can flip them around.
That's right.
That's great. That's
Yeah.
such a great idea.
Absolutely.
Okay, so I'm looking at all these quilting concepts, right, and all these ideas, but then I look over here and I'm like, what does this have to do with quilting?
That's what you do with your leftovers.
So that's
And
what these pieces
That's
are.
what the strips are. And this is called a toothbrush rug. And the toothbrush rug is basically using all of your scraps. And if you don't have scraps, well, you can purchase them.
Of course you can.
That's right.
Go figure.
and-
I would not think that this, all knotted up in there, is come from this. So you're just working your way around.
Working your way around. That's
How long does
absolutely
that
right.
take?
Well, that one takes a little while.
I would
We
say.
give you a 3-hour class in that, and you learn the basics, and you probably, by the end of the class, end up with a piece that's maybe about that big, and then you go home and you keep on
just keep
working on
going.
it. My first one took me roughly about a week, but I worked at it basically nonstop. This one probably has taken me half a year because I pick it up every now and
Yeah.
again, spend a couple of hours on it, and then if I get busy with something else, it goes down, and
Sure.
then it
You can
goes.
kind of decide when you're going to stop.
That's right.
If you want to
But-
make it for underneath the dining room table or just
Oh,
in front of a door.
That's right. Or I have 2 of those in my kitchen, and I love them.
Perfect.
Because they're really hard wearing. They virtually are indestructible.
I could see that. They're,
Yeah.
they're like tight little woven
Yeah.
little piece. And
That's
how
right.
fantastic is that? I mean, and again, what a great gift. That would mean a lot to somebody
you're
if you
not
gave them
kidding.
something.
Yeah, that's right. And they're now all of these products are washable. You don't have to baby them. They don't need hand washing. Now the wallet, I don't know. I would hesitate washing that.
Yeah, I'd be careful.
But everything else is is machine washable and machine dryable.
Well, how do people find out about these classes?
We have a really nice website. I've spent a lot of time working on the website.
That's handy.
And all of our classes are listed there. We used to have a newsletter, but we don't anymore. We have a news page.
Sure, that's the way the world's
and
working, right?
That's right. And so, all of the little tidbits of information are on the news page. And then our classes are listed on our classes page with times and dates.
Well, with Christmas around the corner, of course, people would love to be able to come in and make something for their loved one or family, friends, but also what a great way is to give gift certificates for somebody to come after the holidays in January and February when we're waiting for winter to blow through, and this is what you can do at home and learn some great crafts. So
That's right.
This is
Exactly.
fantastic, and
Yeah.
of course, with your knowledge and your other instructors' knowledge, people can make anything, right? Don't be afraid.
Absolutely. No, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid that we're all really, really great instructors here. We're very gentle. We will not beat you up.
Very good. Thanks,
And,
Lucy.
we'll guide you all along the way.
Awesome. Thank you. The Quilt Rack here in Ancaster. Thank you so much. That's it for now. We'll have more to come. When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your Christmas dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're here with Chef Mark from La Piazza Allegra restaurant in Hamilton, and we're staying with the fall themes.
Fall theme,
and
yeah.
it's nice to use our earthy squashes and that type of thing this year.
Yeah, so this is a nice side dish. Now this one, the way we're doing it is going to be presented, when you present it on the table, it would be presented as a whole piece. And then what you could do from there is everybody cuts their own section off or whatever they want to eat from the dish itself. It's a little bit much, even with I went out and found a small butternut squash. It'd still be a lot for one person to
I was going to say that's
consume.
a small one.
This is a small one. But even at that would be a lot of squash for one person to eat. So, you probably split that into two. You could cut it into quarters if you really wanted to. But the way we're going to present it, it's going to look really nice on the plate. The flavors go really, really well together. And there's a little secret in here that I'm going to show you that with this dish adds a little bit of bitterness to it without adding any acid. So we'll get to that.
Okay, because we know we have to like balance our dishes, right?
Balance the dishes. So you have butternut squash. It's a sweet squash to begin with. And what we're going to do, cut it in half. We're going to take out all the seeds. There we go. And then we're going to put it onto our baking tray. Now I'm using a perforated baking tray. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roast this squash at a fairly high heat. Okay, so we're looking at it about 450 to 475. We're going to put it on a lower rack on a convection bake. If you don't have a convection bake, it might take a little bit longer, okay, and you might have to spin it a little bit just inside your oven to make sure that it cooks evenly.
Because convection's cooking all the way around.
It's all the way around.
Right?
It's got that airflow moving, so it helps speed it up as well as just making sure that it's an even heat all the way around. So if you don't have convection, like I said, just check it after 15 minutes. You might have to rotate it or move it in your oven slightly.
Okay.
Okay? We have some unsalted butter, and you can use brown or golden sugar. And I'm going to add some sugar. I have a little pastry brush here.
It's amazing how sugar tastes so good in squash.
Oh, it's just fantastic.
It just brings out all
It
kinds of
does.
flavor, and my mom loves that. She's always making it.
And we're just going to mix that around, make sure that you don't have any chunks with the sugar. Like I said, brown or yellow. That one is the yellow sugar that we used, golden sugar. And then we're going to take a little bit of canola oil, and I'm just going to do a light drizzle on it. That's going to also help increase the smoking point of that, because you're going to go into the oven at a high heat. You don't want it to burn right away. We're going to add a little bit of kosher salt to this. A little bit of pepper. It's going to give you a little heat. We have an allspice here. We're going to add a little bit of allspice. And that allspice, what that's going to do, that's really going to bring out that fall flavor, that thing that you're used to trying and you're used to having. So that's a kind of a memory sense.
It is. It absolutely
revisit.
is. Yep.
And then we're going to put the sugar with the butter. And if it pools in the bottom, that's not a big deal.
Okay.
Because what you're going to do is we're going to put this into the oven, like I said, to roast it. And every once in a while, you're going to take it out, and you're going to take all those juices in there. You're going to take your brush, and you're just going to brush it again. So you really want to keep on coating it over and over and basting it. Yeah, exactly. You're just going to keep on basting it over and over and over. There we go. Make sure it's nice and coated. Now, the only thing is you have to be careful. I did put, like I said, on a perforated pan.
Right.
And I put a piece of parchment paper down there, and that's just going to help stop the sugar and stuff like that run onto the bottom of your oven, because if that gets on there, it's a little bit of work to get that, a little bit of elbow grease to get that off. So
now,
you
what
do
if
want
people don't have the perforated pan? That's okay?
You can use a flat pan. Again,
Yes.
it's just one of those things where the perforated pan helps that airflow, helps the even heat. So you might end up getting some dark spots on the bottom, because if it's a solid pan, it's going to want to burn on the bottom a little quicker. So again, just have to keep an eye on it while it's in the oven and move it around.
All right.
Okay, so we're going to put that into the oven. Like I said, it's going to take about 35 to 40 minutes at about 450, okay, on a lower. You got to be patient with it. Let it bring out its natural sugars, and away you go. Now, in this piping bag, what we have, and we're going to take it when we get out, I'll just show you some here, is some mascarpone cheese, okay? Now, what I love about mascarpone cheese is, it's very spreadable. It has a little residual sugar, so of course you're going to pick up on the sugars from this, and then you have a nice creaminess about the cheese. So this is going to add that little bit of creaminess and velvety texture on top of everything else you got going on. Here's the hint. To balance it out, this is ground coffee.
Oh.
Now, what I've done
wondering.
here is I've ground, this is espresso grind, so it's espresso beans that are ground extremely, extremely fine, okay? So you put it on your grinder. If you have a grinder, you want to grind it a couple times, make sure that you get all the chunks out of it and grind it really fine. You want to turn it into a powder. But
yeah.
what that's going to do is, I mean, the combination of the coffee with the mascarpone, that's in dessert. If you've ever had tiramisu,
That's what I'm thinking.
that's what that is.
Yes.
Okay? So that combination there works really, really well. But what it does is it adds a little bit of bitterness, the bitterness of coffee,
Sure.
without adding an acid. Because I don't want lemon juice, I don't want vinegar, I don't want anything like that on there to really offset that. Plus, it'll break the cream. Okay?
Right, of course,
So
right.
we're going to bake that. It's going to come out. We're going to pipe that on top, and then we're going to take that espresso, the grinds, and we're going to grind it in our finger, and we're going to put a little bit on top.
That's it.
That adds your little bit of bitterness, and then we're going to top it off again to bring out that, you know, that fall, that whole heartiness of you know, the fall and winter season. We have some slivered almonds,
Okay.
and we're going to sprinkle that on top of that.
Now, are you toasting those beforehand, or just
No, I'm going to leave these the way they are. You
Okay.
could toast them if you wanted to.
Sure.
I mean, it would add a little bit of smokiness to it. You don't need to. I'm always concerned when people want to toast any sort of nuts, because nuts have a lot of oil in them. And if you're not experienced at toasting
Yeah.
that, it burns.
Been there, done
and
that.
it burns fairly,
fast, and then you've
Very
ruined your
fast.
whole supply of nuts, and then they're not going to be in your recipe.
Exactly. So,
Okay.
I mean, you can do it. It's just one of those things you got to be very careful. Once you see it turning brown, you definitely want to take it off the
And
heat.
it changes the flavor
And it
completely
changes the flavor
if you go too far.
if you burn them.
Yes.
So,
All right. So
we'll
that's
get
what
it
we're
in the
going to do.
oven.
We'll get that guy in the oven, and then time will elapse very quickly, and we'll come back and we'll have the finished product for you.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back. When I dream in color. And when I think of color, I think of TERRA. Make your Christmas dreams come true at TERRA, where color lives.
Summer camp means a lot to me, and it's the best place on the earth.
With the Hamilton Spectator Summer Camp Fund, we believe that a single experience can change a child's life. Every year, the fund supports around 800 kids who wouldn't otherwise have an opportunity to go to camp.
I get to let all my joy out and have the best time I ever can.
By giving kids a camp experience, we give them a glimpse of what is possible. Donate today.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're back with Chef Mark, and we have, again, about 45 minutes has passed.
Yes.
It's passed.
And we have our butternut squash. It's nice and roasted now. So I'm going to take that butter and that sugar mixture and just give it one last brush.
So good.
And now we're going to put this onto our plate. All right.
Now, could you do this with, like, say, an acorn squash or something like that, or no?
You can. You're not going to get as much sweetness out of an acorn that you would out of
Okay,
butternut,
that's
but
what I didn't
yeah,
think
you
so.
could definitely do
Okay.
it. So what we have here, mascarpone, nice
Mm-hmm.
and soft. Now this is a good quality mascarpone because there are fairly inexpensive ones, a little bit thicker and a little bit harder to work with, but a good quality one is definitely spreadable.
Okay.
Put it in a disposable piping bag.
Woohoo! That's decadent.
We're going to put a nice
Wow.
coil of
that's
mascarpone on that.
pretty.
This is where we're going to take that coffee and we're just going to sprinkle it nice and light with that coffee.
Now,
This
have
is
you done this at the restaurant, this one?
the way this is? Yes. Yeah. I'm going to use a little bit of that for the plate as well. It'll garnish nicely. There you go.
So just that much is going to give you what you
It's
need.
going to give you that bitterness. Yeah, you're going to
Cool.
taste it, and especially if you mix it in. If you want it a little bit more bitter, of course you can do it. But again, the key is when you have it in there, grind it with your fingers as well, because you don't want chunks. Because coffee grounds on its own
Yeah,
are a little bit grind.
sure.
You know, they're a little bit chunky there. So, and then we're going to throw some slivered almonds onto that.
And just a reminder as well, you can grab this this off of our website as well, terragreenhouses.com, so you can try it out yourself. Fairly straightforward and an easy recipe to do, right? It's
Fairly straightforward.
It takes some time. You have to be patient while it's in the oven.
And a little bit of chives.
Love that. That's great.
And there you go.
there,
You
just
have a
like
nice
that.
side dish. And like I
Awesome.
said, it's a little bit different.
Or a main if you're a vegetarian.
or a main.
Thanks, Mark. That's it for now. Have yourself a great weekend.